Hello everyone, Shirley here, and sorry I'm late. This kill poll is from over a month ago at this point, so the fight has been nerfed since then, but the general strategy should be exactly the same, more or less. So today we're going to go ahead and look at the Silken Court on Mythic, and right off the rip here, we're already pre-planning cooldowns. I'm going to go ahead and use my Thunderous Roar and my Bladestorm just immediately, and that's to get them back in time for the first damage amp phase. And we're all going to be baiting our cone off to the left there and then shuffling out to the right as soon as it goes out. And as soon as that cone goes off, that's where I'm going to send my first avatar, and that's to line it up for the second damage amp later on. And then we're going to go ahead and rotate around the boss here, soaking the red orbs because we're blue side from a melee perspective, and just cleaving down all of these scarabs. And a noob comes in for his big charge, and we're going to throw our Colossus Smash here. Hopefully, if you spend enough rage, you'll have it back, and your Bladestorm and Roar should be right back up for this damage amp, provided you used it immediately on the pull beforehand. So we get some good damage going there, and then we're going to rotate around the boss here, soaking our orbs, and I'm going to flirt on the right side here just because of where we were at. The Tage teleports over here. We're going to immediately go ahead and get on him as soon as that cone goes out. And then we're just getting into our positions, basically, that we're always going to be relative to the bosses for these poison bolts that go out. So I'm always going to kind of be in this exact same spot here. And then we're going to rotate around and continue cleaving down these guys. We get our next set of scarabs, and our Bladestorm and Roar come back here, and I opt to go ahead and send them because even though the damage amp, is going to be 100% more damage on that one boss, you're still getting more value if you can clip, like 5 targets with your Bladestorm and Roar there. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, and now we'll have our second avatar back here with our Colossus Smash window to still do, good cooldown damage into a noob once again, just making sure that we're staying on this far side of the boss. We're not accidentally running into any of the people with the webs that are going to be towards the middle of the room there. And then the boss is going to get drug over into the middle as we get ready to transition into our first intermission phase. And we're all going to loosely spread out here on this side of the boss opposite of the red group, and we're just going to immediately start rotating around, stalling here for that first wave of webs, whatever you call it, goes off there. And then we're going to move to the left slightly and spread out once again for that second drop there, and rinse repeat around the boss, just stopping before every soaking of these orbs and then loose spreading back around. We opted on our first kill here to hold damage, just so timings line up a bit better on subsequent kills. With all the buffs and the nerfs to the boss and everything, like, you're just gonna probably blast and not even worry about it and skip that last set of orbs anyway. But as the second boss, as a noob comes back up, he's gonna do his cone. We're gonna rotate out to the left or right. This first one doesn't really matter. The second one, we're going to all be moving to the left to prepare for the jump there. And now we get our first grip in. We are the second group that gets pulled here, so we're going through the boss, soaking up all these orbs, getting out of the big explosion, and cleaving back on the bosses here on this side. Now, coming out of the intermission there, for future reference, I probably would hold that first Bladestorm, and then you could have it for all the little adds here and cleave them down. And as we're cleaving these down, we're doing our dispels in the middle on Tage. I didn't have one of the debuffs this time around, so I don't have to stack up underneath him. But as soon as that last dispel goes out, we're going to immediately target him and start, slamming damage into him. And go ahead and spending any cooldowns as they come up during that window, preferably. And I should have Sweeping Strikes the Colossus Smash there on both targets if I'd have delayed for 1 second, but it's not a big deal. So this is the cone that we're definitely going to be on the left side, and that's because this grip comes out immediately after, so we want to be immediately on Tage. That way you're not disoriented as to which direction you need to move when the pull-in goes. So we go first on our side, so we're going to the left and right, or from our perspective, the wall and towards the middle of the room there. And then the other group obviously goes through the center. And these dispels come out really quick, so as the boss teleports into the middle of the room, I think it's the second or third dispel in the set, needs to be just on the spot in the middle there, ready to go. After the nerfs, however, there's a lot more time to play with, so it's not nearly as tight as it was when we did this the first time around. But yeah, we get Bladestorm back for the damage amp phase and all the little ads that spawn out there, which is really nice. And Tage is going to teleport again here, and we get into the second intermission phase, and we hit execute phase right as the shield goes up, which is great for us. So kind of the same thing here. We're just rotating around the room counterclockwise and kind of stacking up loosely for when the orb drops go out, but we really don't want to get in any big hurry during this intermission because there's no reason to just zoom across. You only need to move basically when the rings force you to move, and that's going to naturally just push you around the room and getting these orb soaks before any of these things go off here. As we wrap up this intermission phase, he gets stunned here. I'm going to dump some more executes and just keep up the damage, and our group is loosely stacked on this side. And coming out of this second intermission here, this is where our positioning is slightly different. The blue side is going to stick towards the middle-ish of the room, and the red side's going to kind of go towards the wall. And I'm, kind of flirting the corner here just so I can cleave the both of them. But when the grip goes off, I want to make sure that we're back, towards the center of the room. That way, once we go out here, we're going left and right from, their perspective, grabbing some orbs, waiting for the explosion to go off. And then after this point, the grip in should be more like a typical grip than that first one out of intermission here. So we're just doing some damage here, waiting for the charge to go off, coming back in, and we're staying completely on the opposite side of the room. And red team is already moving over to Tage. We're getting a little bit of damage here just because we have a damage amp phase, but we really need to be on to Tage before the script goes out right here. So I charge back in, and then we go left-right immediately from that perspective. If you were in the middle of the room there, you could easily get disoriented and go the wrong direction and hit somebody and die. So you really just want to keep in mind where you need to be at specific parts of the fight. But they stack back up here. We can get some free cleave going, and this last set, or last damage amp that's coming up here, I'm holding cooldowns for when this dispel goes off. That way, this is why I was holding on to Avatar there, so I could use it for this last double damage amp phase here. And this is where we're going to burn our last Avatar and big CD set and just get as much cleave damage in as we possibly can. Climb those meters as arms should in a 2-target boss fight. And after this, it's just beating the timer at this point before more mechanics come out. So we're always rotating to the left, given where Tage teleports to. The red team's immediately moving over there again. And this last set, we're going from the middle again, and then it's going to be a left-right kind of break from that perspective. This is, I think it's only the 2 times that we do that during the boss is coming at intermission and then after the double damage amp phase here. And we're moving in, soaking these things. That one blue orb there that doesn't get soaked, it's not the end of the world if it goes off, provided nobody, has the high enough stacks to insta-give them. And after the nerfs, I don't even think that's going to be a thing. And now this is the last charge, this last damage amp. We're ignoring the dispels. We're just going for the kill and burning the bosses at this point. And boom, we all die, because, that's how first kills go. But, yeah, you guys have any questions about it? Like I said, I think you'll skip all this stuff now at the tail end of the fight. But, yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you probably in the new year. We've already killed Ansarek, and I've been very much slacking during the holidays, busy with stuff, so my uploads have been very sparse. I apologize for that. But I will have an Ansarek video soon.tm. It probably won't be our first kill because it was pretty sloppy. But yeah, I'll have something up for early January, hopefully. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.